Hello everyone. Today's learning target is to solve for all missing sides of a right triangle. So we've been studying trigonometry. In previous videos we found missing sides, and in previous videos we found missing angles. So we're going to put both of that together. So if you look at problem number 1, and at any point if you want to pause the screen, try a problem on your own and come back, please do so. All right, so if you look at problem number 1, I'm going to call AC X and BC Y. And the goal is to find all the missing angles along with the missing sides. So I will need to find angle A. So I'm first going to find X. So I know if I circle angle B here, 12 is the hypotenuse, X is the opposite, and Y is the adjacent. So I could use right triangle trig to find X. So I'm going to say the sine of 46.5 degrees is equal to x over 12. I'm going to cross multiply, and x is equal to 12 sine 46.5 degrees. And using my calculator, I get x is around 8.70. To find y, I'm going to use cosine, since cosine is the adjacent over hypotenuse. Cosine of 46.5 degrees is equal to y over 12. Again, I'm going to cross multiply. 12 cosine 46.5 is equal to y. And using my calculator, I get around 8.26 for y. The last thing I want to do is find angle A. We know the angles in a triangle add up to 180. So to find the measure of angle A, I could do 180 minus 90 minus 46.5 degrees. And I'm going to get angle A to be 43.5 degrees. Some of you may realize you could just figure out angle A by doing 90 minus 46.5. Either way, you get the same answer. So if you want to pause the screen, try problem number 2, you can. Otherwise, you can continue watching. So for problem number 2, I'm going to call CB X, I'll call AB Y, and like I did in the previous problem, I want to label the sides. So if B is my focus, 13 is the opposite, the X is the adjacent, and Y is the hypotenuse. So I'm going to find, let's say we find X first. So I could use tangent. The tangent of 52 degrees is equal to 13 over X. Notice X is in the denominator this time, so the algebra is a little different. When I cross multiply, I get X tangent of 52 degrees is 13. And then I'm going to divide by the tangent of 52. Using my calculator, I get X is approximately 10.16. Now, I could use Pythagorean theorem if I wanted to find Y, but I'm going to continue with trigonometry. I'll use the sine of 52 degrees is equal to 13 over y. Again, cross multiplying. Y sine of 52 is equal to 13, and divide by the sine of 52. And using the calculator, I'm going to get y is around 16.50. And the last thing I need to do is find angle A. So angle A is equal to 90 degrees minus 52 degrees. So angle A is 38 degrees. So in problem 1 and 2, we were given an angle and a side, and we found all the missing sides and angles. In the next 2 problems, we're going to be given 2 sides, and we want to find all the missing angles and the missing side. So I could use the Pythagorean theorem to find AB, which I'm going to call C. So if I use the Pythagorean theorem and say 16 squared plus 13 squared is equal to C squared, I'll get 425 equals C squared. Square root of 425 is C, so C is approximately 20.62. I'm going to go back to inverse trig to find the angle. So if I circle angle A, 13 is the opposite, 16 is the adjacent. So that I would use tangent. So I could say the tangent of angle A is 13 over 16. So that means A is equal to inverse tangent of 13 over 16. And using the calculator, I get A is around 39.09 degrees. Since angle A and angle B add up to 180, angle A and angle B add up to 90, angle B is equal to 90 degrees minus 39.09. So B is approximately 50.91 degrees. If you want to pause the screen and try problem 4, please do so. Otherwise, continue watching. All right, so like in the previous problem, I'm going to call the hypotenuse C. So I could do 20 squared plus 18 squared is equal to C squared. Adding these up, I get 724 equals C squared. C is equal to the square root of 724. So C is approximately 26.91. In order to find the angles, I'm just going to use A as my reference. 18 again is the opposite. 20 is the adjacent. So I'm going to use tangent again. You won't always use tangent. The tangent of angle A is equal to 18 over 20. So A is equal to inverse tangent 18 over 20. A is approximately 41.99 degrees. And then since A and B add up to 90, angle B is equal to 90 minus 41.99 degrees. So angle B is around 48.01 degrees. So the learning target for this particular lesson was to find all the missing sides and all the missing angles. The next video will be about angles of elevation and angles of depression. Hope you have a good day.